Thank you for joining us today on Herding Little Cows. We wanted to show you some of the things we do as a family to encourage family time, to encourage the kids to just enjoy their time together and enjoy their siblings. So here you see us at one of our local playgrounds. This is where I used to go to school, actually. This was the elementary school. So some of this equipment is old. I remember playing on some of it, and some of it is new. As a family, we like to be together most of the time. You'll notice that in our videos, you may not see the kids, but we go do everything together. Very rarely are we apart from each other. And we just find that the more time that our big kids spend outside of the family with friends, as we've seen in other families, the more time that they go out and do things, the less that they actually want to have interactions with their siblings. So when we go to playgrounds and such, they take turns playing with these guys. On here you see Daddy, he's jumping with the littles. He was bouncing on that thing. So you saw the stuff. Here we are all getting in the car. Because of the special needs that we have in our family, we need more help on playgrounds because like the 2.5-year-old is only 2.5, and so just making sure that he's safe on the playgrounds, and then Josiah's issues. We went to Camden, which is just about 20 minutes from our house, and this is a beautiful waterfall that goes under the street. There's a river that comes down and comes into the ocean. And so this waterfall actually goes under the street, under some of the stores, and goes out into the ocean. Here you'll see all the boats that are in this harbor. This is more of a pleasure harbor. You'll see from some of our other videos around the state that they are more of a working harbor. They've got lobster boats and that type of thing. These are more like pleasure cruise boats. So just being out in nature is so stress relieving for your system, seeing the things that God has made and being out in the fresh air, being out in the sunshine where you're getting vitamin D. It's very healthy for your physical body to be out and moving and getting those vitamins and the fresh air, but also it's really good for your spiritual being. So here we're playing games as we're waiting for, I think Josiah wasn't feeling well, and so we stopped for a minute so that he could have a break. This is the amphitheater, which is right next to the local library, and we went there to play. We encouraged the kids to run around, to just enjoy time together. Here again, we were trying to get them to be still for a second and get a picture. We just stopped and had a picnic, and Malachi was just being very, very cute, so everybody's laughing at him. Encouraging, I'm throwing tortillas to the kids. What's yours? Encouraging the kids to enjoy babies, to just spend time looking at the world around them, looking at their sibling as a person, as a human being made in the image of God, not as a nuisance.
You broke it. Did you eat it?
So you'll see here in a second.
We're eating Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, those are the lousy ones. These are the good ones.
These are the best.
No, these definitely the best.
We need to know which ones you think are the best.
Barbecue potato
These
chips.
are the best. By the way,
Sour
I don't
cream.
really like barbecue chips, but these really are good.
I don't like any other barbecue chips on planet Earth.
I know. I'm saying I don't like
Mm-hmm.
barbecue chip and a piece of tortilla.
I know which one's the best, Mommy.
Didn't you see the home videos last night, Malachi? You're way behind.
You won. I know the best one.
You like that chip?
Yeah. Daddy's favorite.
Oh, Abigail is saying daddies are better.
Yep, they are.
Abigail hasn't done
Right.
daddies
That's
yet.
because she's a smart kid.
How many people think daddies are better? Raise your hand.
Can
I
Mhm.
try
I one of yours? I like both. I actually ate both.
Can I try one? I like Mommy. I like Mommy. I like Mommy.
You like mommies? Then why are you eating daddies?
Because I eat Mommy.
You eat mommies and daddies?
That's logic when you're two. Let's see if these things are any good.
They are really good, aren't they?
Are they?
Mommy, neither. They're just as good.
They're really good. Ready? Ready?
Daddies are the best.
Now show how they crumble.
All right, you guys have all had both now? Who says Daddy's is the best? Daddy's hands up. Samuel, Josiah, and Abigail. That's 4.
Okay. Who says these are the best?
Me.
Samuel and Uriah and Josiah and Naomi. And
I like both.
I like both. I said the best, though. I didn't say do you
I
like
don't know.
These guys just want to eat. That's what it is. They're just like, it's food. Let's eat it.
Me too.
That's what I'm doing.
By the way, we're here at this beautiful Camden, Maine amphitheater. There's enough stone and rock and everything around. And then as we go down across the street here, there's a beautiful harbor.
It's also so important for our kids that we put our phones down and just actually spend time watching them, looking at them. So this is Payson Park. This is 15 minutes the other direction from where we were. And it's just got this beautiful stream, and it's got a trail out back that we actually have not done as a family. Because of our special needs, we just have to make sure that it is a good day where Josiah's not having seizures and things, to make sure that it's safe for our whole family to do those things. But this is the water next to the playground, and then you'll see the kids playing on the playground. I know as a mom with so many things going on and so many people I want to talk to, I want to minister to over the phone, that it's easy to have my phone in my hand and not be paying attention to what the kids are doing. But that makes them also feel like, okay, things going on around me are not important enough. I need to find some other way to spend my time. It's good to once in a while just sit, to just look at the things around you, listen to the sounds that are going on. Here Uriah is trying to learn how to climb, and you'll see I have a hold on him because he slips through. There he goes. He had learned how to climb over both directions, and teaching kids to move their bodies in space is very important for their brain development. At this stage, it's actually more important than learning their ABCs and their 1, 2, 3s, because learning where their body is in space actually helps them when they go to learn how to read and how to do math, and seeing nature around them. Doing these things in non-artificial ways, like ways that they want to do, instead of you saying, hey, we now need to go practice climbing. He wanted to climb, so we took that opportunity. Looking at what is of interest to your child. To go to this whole playground and tell the child you need to climb on the caterpillar when they want to climb the ladder to get to the slide is fighting against your child's own curiosity. And we do that a lot also, like in school. We'll say, okay, well, science time is over, so we're going to be done learning about bugs. We need to go sit down and learn about multiplication. While there's nothing wrong with multiplication, if your kid is really into the bug lesson that day, do another lesson. Go find a book, go find a YouTube video. Continue with that interest, because a lot of times learning is killed by not allowing your child to delve into the topic that they want to. It becomes very matter of fact of, I have to learn now. And instead of being, I get to learn about the world around me, I get to enjoy finding out more about God, it's, I have to check off the box to finish my math. I have to check off the box to finish my science. And your kid is learning math through those other subjects. Like when we do things like at the playground and stuff, we might occasionally be like, okay, everybody do the slide 10 times. You see them running laps right here. So we'll incorporate math, but having a child who's very interested in something and pulling them away from it makes them lose their natural curiosity and their spark to be self-sufficient and wanting to be self-motivated. So here we are at Moose Point State Park. There, it says it on the screen. And this is a day we came down with the brown-tailed moth rash that I talked about in another video. Here in Maine, we've got these little caterpillars that the hairs get in the air and they give you an itchy rash, and this was the first year we've dealt with it. But this is one of our state parks, and just seeing the beauty that God has created. We live in a fallen world. Oh, here, these look
Winky rock, but it's rock. Like,
that's rock
it's not
right
wood,
there.
It's rock.
But it looks like charred wood.
But if you look as it follows that one over there,
It looked like someone burned wood on the beach, but it was actually rock. So that goes with what I was saying. We live in a sin-cursed world. Adam and Eve, after they did that first sin, everything got worse. And so even the beauty we see around us is not the beauty that God first created. And knowing that God can create something even more beautiful than this beauty we see around us is just amazing to think of how awe-inspiring God is. So this is Fort Point State Park. That's a beautiful lighthouse on the coast of Maine. We have a lot of lighthouses that warned ships when they were getting close to the coast, so that there weren't as many shipwrecks. So this is a beautiful view of the Penobscot River, going up towards Mark's mom house. That's where we were headed that day. And in this video, we're letting Uriah lead. It's important to let your kids have a lead, like I was talking about with their education. If they want to study the bugs, keep studying the bugs. Letting them use their leadership skills in safe and positive ways. So here, Uriah was able to lead us around this beautiful place. There weren't a lot of people there. It wasn't dangerous for him to be doing. Giving your kids those opportunities when those opportunities are available so that they can each gain leadership skills. That might be having, like we have our catechism books that I've talked about in other videos. They're all running around here. The catechism books that I've talked about, having Samuel ask questions out of the book and reading the responses, like making sure that whoever's responding is responding to the right answer. That might be saying, hey, can you guys sit down and read a book with these little ones? It might be letting the little one lead like this in a safe environment. So there they're reading a sign about the fort that used to be in that spot. Again, Uriah leading. We switched off throughout this park of who is leading, but Uriah was leading at this time. And letting him feel in control of the situation by also not being a helicopter parent. It is good to protect your children. I am not saying that you should leave them unprotected. But there are a lot of times, I know especially with like Josiah, who can get hurt very easily because he could have a seizure. But letting him do this jumping on and off of rocks, letting Uriah move around. They're finding something. I forget what they were finding at this point, but I'm looking for, Uriah here is going to find a hole in just a minute, and he's going to explain to us. Stopping and listening, making sure all the kids have equal opportunity to share things. I know as adults we can get very busy in the adult talk and always wanting to make sure that we're getting our opportunities. Here's the hole.
What is in the hole? The hole over there? There's another hole. What's in the hole? Anybody home?
Are there snakes?
Hello.
Is he gonna come out and bite you?
Hey
No.
guys, ready, Chris?
No.
I ate a hole.
Oh, you
Did
ate a
I
hole.
put my butt in it?
Don't put your butt in the hole.
What if there's a chipmunk in there?
Or else the snake will.
Now as an adult, I don't even know that I really realized what the hole was. Here's a pier we were walking down. I don't even know if I realized there was a hole there, but it caught his curiosity, and it led to conversations later about animals that live underground, and you know, why the hole might have been there, all those different things, because we let the 2-year-old stop and tell us a story about it. Here we're having the 3 of them work together to lead all of us up the path. We're just walking a different direction, and as you can see, the kids can have fun together when you encourage them. You'll also probably hear me say, if you had sound on this video, you know, no once in a while. No, don't pull on each other. No, don't go too fast. But that's all they're learning to do this. Okay, so this is Sorrento, Maine. This is near Mark's mom's house, and it's just a beautiful beach, and you can see those mountains in the background. This is the ocean that you're seeing there with some islands out in the out there. Very clear water with beautiful rocks. Most of Maine's beaches are rock beaches. We have a few sand ones, but they're mostly rock. But back to what I was saying. A lot of what we have to do as parents is to direct our children in how they should be responding to situations. This was a game I was playing with Malachi, and he absolutely loved it. This went on for about 25 minutes. But teaching our children how they should respond in situations, because as adults, I know that I can sometimes get nervous or uncomfortable not knowing what's expected of me in a situation. And if you think about your kids and how they've never been in a lot of situations that you've been in because you have experience. So when we're walking in a new park, oh, we need to look around and make sure there's no roads coming in. Oh, we need to look for signs to make sure we're going the right way. A lot of parenting is talking our kids through what's expected of them instead of just giving them rules, explaining to them why we follow those rules. So we follow the signs in the park so that we don't get lost. Don't just tell them, okay, now go left. Explain to them, we're going left because the one to the right says this goes to the restrooms. The one to the left says it goes to the parking lot. Where do we want to go? Talking them through those steps. So anyway, this is Frazer Point. This is, again, past Mark's mom's house. And we were just letting the kids walk around on the rocks, explore. The tide was way out, so this was a safe place to be. But you'll notice they're up towards the top of the rocks. The bottom of the rocks were very wet and seaweedy, so we were trying to keep everybody safe. Being a family that has kids of a variety of abilities definitely makes us more aware of each other. We have friends who have families where their kids don't have special needs, or the kids are all close in age. So when they're all teenagers, they don't think in the same way about helping each other because help isn't needed. But our kids are very careful to look out for each other because we have to be. There's people in our family that really need help. And if we're going on this walk together on the beach, one person would be left behind, and none of us would be able to have fun if someone were to fall or get left behind. Here's Uriah exploring. He's not quite 3. He'll be 3 in 2 months. And he's climbing up these really wet rocks. You know, it doesn't look like those are slippery, but they are. He was having a lot of fun, and he's actually probably our most capable bodied person at that age. So he was crawling all around. And the kids also really like to show each other things. So you'll, oh.
What did you find, Uriah?
I found an ant.
What?
I found an ant.
You found an ant?
Right over here.
Super couch, nice.
They'll bring each other around. This was a rabbit we found, and we were all standing around watching it. He actually came towards us. I like his little mustache, his little white mustache. But our kids really like to show each other things. So they'll find something and they'll call everybody over. Hey guys, come look at this. And showing an interest in what your kids are interested in. I know when our oldest was younger, Nathaniel, he was really into computers. I know nothing about computers, but still taking the time to listen to what he's telling me. Oh, today I learned about Z3 files and blah, blah, blah. I'm making up things because I really don't know. Still taking the time. Oh, what did you learn about that? Oh, how could you use that in your future? What kind of thing would you want to do with that? Even if you don't understand it, showing an interest, because I know I'm interested in things that my family isn't necessarily interested in, and I still want them to listen to me. And how much more so for our kids. If every time they try to tell us something that we're either not interested in or don't understand, and we just, not right now, I don't have the time for that. Are they going to want to come to us with their interests, with their hobbies, or are they going to keep those to themselves? So the kids went down to play by the water. Again, this is a safe place. That this part doesn't have any waves, and Uriah was like, the water's not very deep right there. He was totally safe. Just wanted to say that on the video for people who aren't familiar with these areas. So this is past Frazer Point. Frazer Point's the first part of this park, and this is part of Acadia National Park. So we're driving around through the park and going to the point where there are a lot of big crashing waves. Again, showing the children through nature how amazing God is. Whether that is studying the waves here and the power that God has given to the oceans and the things that are there. Whether it's sitting and listening to a thunderstorm with the kids and seeing God's might through that. Studying astronomy and how big these things are that God created. How amazingly huge space is. That's one of those things I don't totally understand. Everybody has their different things they get. I can't picture really, really big things. But on the other end, you have like microscopes, and I understand having something smaller than I can actually see. Where some people can't fathom that, like know it happens, but can't put it into scale. But teaching your kids through using a microscope and learning about micro organisms and things, about how intricate God has made even single-celled things. God's power and might is all around us, and we need to be pointing out to our kids throughout the day. Here, there's so many different things at play. The water and the power of the water. The intricate seaweed that God has made that feeds so many creatures and keeps the water healthy that's there. The idea of the worldwide flood and how erosion has created all of these rocks and the things here, which was all caused by Adam and Eve's sin. All of nature can be a starting point to talk about God, his amazingness, and us as sinful men and our relationship to this amazing God. So we had a lot of fun sitting here on the beach. These, for people who don't live in Maine, these waves are very, very dangerous. Like these could easily sweep you out to the ocean if you were in the wrong spot. So I don't know if you can see on these videos, but we are very high up and Mark is a little further down in a safe place, but we're higher up. So everybody here is safe, and we're very big about the rules. You know, nature is a very amazing, powerful thing. Mark was laying down on a rock with his selfie stick over the edge for this one. But nature is a very amazing, powerful thing, and we need to make sure that we teach our kids safety, because our children are made in the image of God. They are one of God's creation, and we need to make sure that we're teaching them how to stay safe in this amazing world around us. That's part of our job as a parent also. So again, here's one of those points down at Schoodic Point somewhere. We did a lot of traveling this day, so I don't know exactly where all these spots are, but it was all amazing. Here we went to Marlborough Beach. Friends of ours, their parents live right above this property, and so we love going down to the water down here. It's a beautiful beach with very calm waves. I don't know exactly where this is situated in regards to the water and stuff, but the kids were playing. Just letting the kids explore, just stepping back and watching can be a really fun time to just enjoy seeing what they're doing. Okay, here's Tidal Falls. This is a place, we talked about it in another video, where when the tide goes out, it creates these waterfalls going over the rocks. This was the tide, so the river's to your left, ocean's to your right. The water is coming out of the river because the tide has gotten so low. And later, when the tide comes back in, the ocean water will be a little higher and we'll go back over the rocks the other direction. Again, just seeing the power of the water, the beauty of the water, pointing out things you see to the kids, letting them point out things. And if you saw in that first picture, there was a sheriff there. These two were just being cute, helping each other walk safely. But in that first picture there, you saw a sheriff's car at Tidal Falls, and just talking to law enforcement and encouraging them in the wonderful job they're doing. So that's it for our family. Thank you for joining us today. We will see you next time.